So it's proving to be a little bit of a struggle. Let's check that one out. Actually, they are undid, these. Welcome to another XC90 video, my 2003 Volvo XC90, and in this video I'm going to be changing the front brake discs and pads. Now in the MOT video I did notice the front pads were a bit worn and seems to be a bit of a lip on the disc, so, and I can quite easily feel that with my fingers, so I thought I'll just bite the bullet, change both the pads and discs. So I'll get this up off the ground and the wheel off, and then we can get everything get the pads out. So with the wheel off and the steering turn to the left for the left caliper, I just need to take this caliper off. So I just take the clip off. Can be a bit awkward at times. Can be a bit of a job just getting this spring clip off, so I know you can't see it too well. This is a 2 screwdriver job, so I should have brought out another screwdriver, but never mind. I think it's nearly out, nearly ready to come out. And there we go, managed to get that out. So that's that out. Next thing I need to do is to just get a screwdriver, just push it yourself, push the caliper in. Right, we've got a bit of room to get this caliper off, so get the hook ready. Now we need to hook the caliper on and get the caliper off first, which is a couple of the pins, the 7mm pins. I'll find a dust cap for them both. So just crack off the bottom one. I took all this part on MOT video, so it should come apart quite easily. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Could have used impact, but compact. Yep, just can't get him with me, even with your 3 litres. Right, I'll come back with an extension for my 3/8 ratchet. Right, got the extension because the brake line is actually in the way of the actual ratchet handle, but with the extension, I'll go crack that off. So with that out, let's have a look. Need to make sure those pins are out of the way. It's a bit hard to tell from here. Probably need to undo this one a bit more. Yep, I can see it coming out a bit further. Let's see. Just make sure I've got them both all the way out. Yeah, I can actually see the pin. It's definitely out of the caliper. The bottom one's out of the caliper. That should be a simple matter of leaving the caliper out. I just need to lever this. Just need to lever this a bit because it's not as simple as pulling it straight out. You've got to move it to one side and then pull it out. So just lever it little by little. To leave this piston in a bit more. There you go. And I should get a bit more. Just lever the piston in a little bit more. Probably can't see from this angle, but if I take you around here, you can see what I mean. Because I've got the caliper bracket. If I pull it straight out, it does foul it. So you need to push it outwards, and then it can be levered out. Can't see the feel of it. There we go, and it's out. I don't know what happened to my hook. It's gone round. So just get the caliper on here, and we can do that a little bit later on. So the next thing to do is get the caliper bolts off. Now these are 18mm. These are bolts off the caliper bracket. So 18mm. Beast should do the job. The top one's going to be a bit harder, so I've got my wobbly adapter, and that should give me the room. There we go, and that's out. So all that's left is to get the disc off. I don't know whether that's an 8. Is that an 8 or a 10? I think it was a 10. Yep, it's a 10. Oh, okay, I don't even need to use tools. I can just undo it by hand. In fact, I'll get my 3/8 ratchet on it, just to keep the disc in place. Doesn't actually serve any other purpose. You could manage without it in theory. So there we go, that's the brake disc screw out, and that's the brake disc off. So get the new parts, compare them, probably clean this bracket as well, give that a bit of a clean, especially where the pads come into contact, and then we'll start putting new parts on. So there's my new brake disc. So first thing I do, compare the old to the new one. Yep, and exactly the same diameter. So I'll take these out of the packet, out of the box, and we'll compare thickness. So what I'll do is I'll measure thickness with my caliper. They're just over 31mm. Maybe, no, probably near 30mm. So the new ones, let's compare them, and they're about, actually no, they're a bit less, because I'm measuring on the ridge. I can't measure the inside bit, so it couldn't be less, but there's a ridge. I don't know when they were last done, so I'm just going to fit the new ones anyway. So next thing I need to do, now these don't like being coated, they're just oil, so just get some brake cleaner, clean off the oil that they're coated with to stop them rusting while they're on the shelf, the motor factors. So clean the inside, then off it up to the car. I'll just give it a quick wipe over, but I'll give it a smear of copper grease. And then offer this up, make sure I get the holes lined up, and then fit the screw. Should be a locating screw somewhere. I've got it right. Yep. I'm struggling a bit, so the camera's in the way, so just need to get to where I can see. I'm just working a bit blind. Get this lined up correctly. finally got it started. Bit of a struggle there. Just do it up with a ratchet. These aren't located by the hub, not on this one anyway. The hub doesn't locate the disc. It's going to be the wheel bolts. And I'll just nip it up, I don't need to go crazy tight. So, take this side. Don't douse with your brake clean. Already cleaned the back side, so I did one side first and then the other. So that's that. Time to turn my attention to the caliper. So get you guys in a decent position. Grab the pads. Don't forget, we need to compare these. So these just pop out. Don't think these are handed. Well, oh yeah, they are handed. It's obvious which side goes where. Something to know, on the XC90 there's different size brake discs, and I think it's dependent on the size of your wheels. So these are, I've got 18-inch alloy, so I need the 336 diameter discs. Let's have a look. No, they're definitely not handed, they're all the same, these brake pads. So they're not handed, I thought they were, but they're not. So we'll just compare them. There you go. They're the same. You can look at difference on there. Just measure how much thickness there's left on them. It's not one metal at all, but this caliper's handy. I can measure, do pad thickness and depth of tyre tread. Okay, I think I got a measurement and it's 4 mil. I think the minimum spec's about 2, so we're within. No, you can see I need to push this caliper piston in before I can fit the pads. Until I have the extra thickness of the pads. I might as well push them and caliper pins out at the same time. Give them a grease. I had a comment on the BMW video about using, shouldn't use copper grease on the threads. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to bother putting any grease on the threads, I'll just grease the pins. And I've seemed to have dropped it in a slightly inaccessible spot. It's falling out the top of the knuckle. There we go, I've retrieved it. I'll clean them up a bit later on. But the thing I need to do is get my caliper winding tool. Let's have a look. I'm not sure if I'm able to do this. Let's have a look. grease. Don't think I'll be able to use my caliper winding tool. It's a slightly different design, so I'm just going to have to resort to the old-fashioned method. And by old-fashioned method, it's a rigid clamp. So it should be quite straightforward. So I just need to wind this all the way in. Right, what I'll do is I'll open the cap on the brake master. Yeah, it just saves avoid putting pressure on the braking system. Let's have a look at that. I think that's actually gone all the way in, yeah. So we're good. So next thing I'm going to do is dab a copper grease. You don't have to go crazy with it, just a bit on the edge, just where it comes into contact with other parts of the caliper. So just do that on the piston. This is on the ears of the brake pad. Just be careful not to get anything on there. Something seems to be good. Plastic packaging bit just for blowing away. To avoid a repeat performance, just wedge it under the old disc and just get this other pad on. Same again, just a dab of copper grease there on the ears, and I've already put copper grease elsewhere. So it's proving to be a little bit of a struggle. I'll just check that one out. Oh, actually, they are undid, these. I thought they looked the same, but there you go. Seems I was right first time. Yeah, they're undid. So watch out for that one. I'm making a mistake so you don't have to. There we go. pads fitted, so I can take care of that now. Clean the caliper bracket, so that just goes back in. Get the top one started on the threads. And I clean the areas where it comes into contact with the pads. Right, so get them started. And then it's just doing them up with the impact. Now caliper's ready to go back on. So unhook and there we go, that goes straight back on. And I need to get the caliper pins. I'll give them a clean. Quick wipe the brake fluid, the brake cleaner. And I'm going to grease the pins with lithium grease. And still keep them on. Put them in the old threads. So smear lithium grease. And that should help with movement. Not too worried about dirt getting in because plastic caps on where the pins go in. So just got to smear lithium grease. Grease off my hands. Now to grab me 3/8 ratchet. It's a 7mm Allen ball. You see it a lot on brake calipers. Have a look tight. Yep. So get them both started. I'm struggling on this one. I managed to get one okay, but the other one seems to be a bit of a struggle to get to where I can see what I'm doing. And something's not quite right, so I'm going to just take these caliper pins out. There, yes. doing this, I think I've realised why one of his caliper pins is sticking out, because one is longer than the other. I think one's not 100% certain. So get them both out and compare them. So I'll get this caliper back out. Rest on there for now, freeze my hands. It's dropped out. So I want to grease these up again. As you can see, one is longer than the other. So it's the shorter one goes in at the bottom. Again, learning as I go along. So shorter one at the bottom and longer one at the top. Just re-grease this a bit, just a tad, not a lot. So, try again. So, long one at the top and short one at the bottom. So put these plastic caps back on. And all that's left to do is this clip. discs done, so what I'll do is I'll rinse and repeat on the other side. The thing I'll need to do, we'll need to put the brake pedal just to push the piston out there yourself. You don't have a brown type of moment with no brakes. So I'll get the other side done. So I've got the other side done, and pads and discs must always be replaced in pairs, otherwise you get uneven braking. And also one thing to note, when you've replaced pads and discs, or just pads, you need to take it easy for the first couple of 100 miles or so to allow the pads to bed in, which means the pads need to wear to the profile of the disc. So once they're bedded in, you're good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you.